Good morning and welcome to Missoula Real Estate Today. This is Denny Bedard. Missoula Real Estate Today is presented by Diane Beck of Windermere Real Estate. Diane's been working with buyers and sellers in the Missoula market for over 25 years and shares her insights on the local housing market. Along with her trusted partners, Diane provides complete service for your real estate transaction and brings us guests who provide useful information on industry-related topics and trends. And now, Missoula Real Estate Today on News Talk, KGVO. And we welcome you. It's always nice to have you with us on Missoula Real Estate Today. Thank you to Diane Beck of Windermere Real Estate, who brings us great guests. Been a while since Erika and Sam have been in the studio. Erika Close, sales executive with Payne West Insurance, and Sam Lytle, clients manager with Payne West. I welcome you both back. And we always have to start with the basics, of course. I guess, Erika, you get to go on that one. Tell us about Payne West, its origins, and how long it's been part of the Missoula market.
Hi, thanks. Happy to. And thanks, Diane, for having us again.
Yeah.
Payne West Insurance is an independent agency. We are physically located in 4 different states, but we are able to write insurance in all 50 states. And we have 750 employees at Payne West.
Wow. And the types of insurance you sell pretty much run the gamut, right?
Yes, we do home, auto, life, large commercial benefits, surety. So we can do just about anything. And
what adjustments have you folks had to make to, still serve your customers efficiently during the whole coronavirus thing? Sam was going to take that one, but she left it with you, Erika.
I know. Did you see that?
Yeah. She ducked me.
So we, our doors are currently locked, but we are available by appointment, and there's people in the office, so if somebody does show up and they call, we can help serve them. We're doing a lot more Zoom meetings and a lot more WebEx and virtual meetings. So we're still open. We're still serving our clients. It just looks different.
Yeah, and it affects your one-on-one relationships a little bit, doesn't it? I mean, you're in a people business just like we are here in the broadcasting. I'm glad that you're willing to come into the studio. You have the option, but I'm glad you're willing to come in the studio. We're pretty well spaced here, but it does have some sort of a effect or impact on how you deal directly with customers, because you're not exactly dealing directly with customers. It's actually kind of weird.
It is. It's definitely weird, and masks are, cumbersome, and nobody likes them, but we're all wearing them, so it makes it different, but we're moving forward.
All right. Well, when someone is shopping for insurance, what are some of the most common questions you are being asked these days at Payne West Insurance?
If wildfire is covered. It's a huge question lately.
Yeah.
And it is.
I imagine it's kind of a long answer, though, when you have to start digging down a little bit.
Well, wildfire is fire still, so it's a basic peril, so it is covered on I would say almost every single policy.
All right.
I don't think we have a single policy that has a wildfire exclusion.
Is that something that, did that sort of surprise you recently or in the last couple of years of your career with Payne West that, wow, we're sure getting a lot of questions about wildfire all of a sudden?
No, we can just blame it on California, right?
Okay, all right. Sure, we'll pass the buck.
But I think this last year is the first year that we've had existing clients call us and say, is fire covered on my home insurance?
Okay.
And insurance companies are doing some kind of cool proactive things. Several companies are contracting with services similar to wildfire defense out of Bozeman, that if your home is in pre-evacuation, they will reach out to you and come spray your home with fire gel or trim trees or clean your gutters, what it takes to defend your home. And, sometimes wildfires move really fast and they can't get there, and that's what insurance is for. But to see an insurance company at no cost to the client, it doesn't count as a claim or anything, be so proactive is amazing. And I think we have 3 companies that offer that for homes under $500,000, and then several more companies that offer it over $1 million.
Now, I'm assuming, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that those inquiries that you're getting so many more of, they are coming from people with residence in rural, wooded areas. Is that fair?
Yes and no. The University District may have had a few of those calls coming this summer when the fire broke out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Missoula Real Estate Today, presented by Diane Beck of Windermere Real Estate. Our guests, Erika Close, sales executive, and Sam Lytle, client manager, both with Payne West Insurance. And since we are on Diane's real estate show, let's start with homeowners insurance. What questions you ask the customer to get a feel for what policy is best suited for them? Sam, I guess you're going to tackle that one.
Yeah. So we like to just go ahead and ask the basic questions. I mean, we go and ask where the home is located. I like to ask what their hobbies are, just kind of so I can get a feel if they have horses, any farming exposure. We want to know all of that. If they have kids, do they have trampolines, swimming pools, things like that? Do you rent out your home for Airbnbs? All of these questions that are coming up more and more, especially in the university district or closer to the lake. Airbnbs are becoming more and more popular. So we need to know all of that in order to make sure that we are covering you adequately for liability insurance. And then we always would do the cost guides then as well to make sure your home itself is adequately insured.
And because of that, you're getting so many additions to the menu inquiry there. Has that affected your quotes a lot as to what kind of rates you can provide? Well, gosh, if we have to add this, this, and this, things that maybe you didn't have to add a few years ago, does that make it a little bit tougher to kind of try to get together a quote that your customer is going to be comfortable with?
It's not necessarily that it's tougher. It takes a little bit more time so that we can make sure we're putting you with the right carrier. A lot of our carriers don't offer some of these coverages. So if some of these exposures exist, we need to know about it firsthand so that we can make sure we're putting you in a carrier that has that exposure and can rate for that, so that it's not a problem down the line for you. But other than that, I mean, it just might take a little extra time. But it's better to do that time up front than find out later on.
Has it made it tougher for a one-size-fits-all? Is it getting harder to find a carrier that essentially will say yes to every one of those?
Yes and no. Since we are able to write with multiple policy or carriers, then we can fine-tune a plan and a portfolio for you that may not just all be one carrier, but it's going to cover all of the exposures. Okay. So, and it's still in Payne West, you still have our guidance, our expertise, and our service that will carry you through, that you're not actually dealing with multiple carriers. You're still talking to us directly. Right.
So at Payne West, you deal with you directly, and you are able to package or bundle, even if it does mean more than one carrier. That's okay. You're gonna make it work for them.
Yep, we'll do our best to try and make that package policy with the same carrier. If we have to go outside of that carrier for a couple other items, then we do that as well. But you still get a great rate, and the service team is fantastic.
And what are some examples that you see often of where customers are likely underinsured? Erika, are you on that one?
I guess I am. So what's coming up, and it's newer in Missoula again right now. It's a problem we've been seeing in Bozeman for a few years, is that building costs are increasing rapidly. People should be reviewing their cost guide on their home every 5 years. Okay. That's changing. And then I fully believe that liability is inexpensive and the most important part of a homeowner's policy. That's the coverage for if I come to your house and your dog bites me, buy more liability. It's easy. It's inexpensive. And
right. Give an example. Like I remember you talking about that the last time you were here. It was rather eye-opening how much you could increase your liability for a minimal investment.
Yes. So a standard homeowner's policy comes with $100,000. I highly recommend people look at $300,000 or $500,000.
Yeah.
Let's say that there was a fire in your garage and it started the neighbor's house on fire.
Sure.
All of a sudden, $100,000 doesn't sound like much money when you have to pay for them to have somewhere to live and to rebuild their home. A way to go around that is to add an umbrella over that, an additional $1 million in coverage. And so that would be that if it maxed out your lower level policy at $300,000 or $500,000, you would have an additional $1 million in coverage over the top of that through an excess or an umbrella policy.
Wow.
Another example that we've seen recently is somebody had a guest in their home and the puppy bit the person on their hand, and it quickly maxed out the homeowner's liability and is into the umbrella. And they didn't want to go down that route, but they've had 3 or 4 surgeries so far, and they're unable to use their right hand. and it was a simple puppy bite that just hit right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Missoula Real Estate Today, presented by Diane Beck of Windermere Real Estate. Our guest, Erika Close, Sales Executive, and Sam Lytle, Client Manager with Payne West Insurance. The fabulous Payne West Insurance Homeowners Manual and Safety Checklist. What are some of the key elements that can really help your customers that you like to highlight on that?
Trim bushes and trees back from your home.
Okay.
Know how to shut off your water. Make sure that your refrigerator line is not leaking. Maybe pull the refrigerator out once or twice a year just to make sure. Well, you can use that for cleaning it, but a very common claim is people don't realize that the ice machine line or the water machine line into the refrigerator is leaking, and it causes a ton of hidden damage.
Okay, so those are some of the big highlights there.
Those are huge. Are
there any, we talked about wildfires already, and you can certainly expand on that if you would like to, but any other trends or popular options that customers are looking for in home insurance policies right now?
Service line coverage. It's something the city of Missoula is even sending out notices on since they purchased the water company. The lines coming into your home are not usually covered on your homeowner's policy. And they are not the responsibility of the city. Right. And a lot of they are the responsibility of the homeowners once they leave that sidewalk to the house. But the homeowner's policy usually covers that box. Think the house is a box. Anything outside of it is not covered. Wow. Many companies are offering service line coverage as an endorsement onto a homeowner's policy too, and it can be less expensive than the city. I would recommend reading what the city's coverage offers and what the homeowner's endorsement through your provider or your company offers too, just to see what the differences are. When you say city coverage that they offer, is that something that you still have to pay for, or is that something the city partially picks up, or what is the fundamental difference between the two? I believe the city has partnered with an independent insurance company that sells nothing but service line coverage, so they just send you a letter offering you a policy for a fee, and you mail your check to that company. Okay. All right. How about renters insurance and homeowners insurance policies? Because there's a lot of renters in the Missoula areas, I'm sure you know. How do they differ? How are they similar, Sam?
So homeowners insurance is going to be the insurance that a homeowner actually takes on their property. Renters insurance is if you are renting an apartment, then you are only going to be covering your personal contents as well as your liability. So and most professional or property management companies will require you as a renter to have at least $100,000 in liability. Mm-hmm. That means that if you damage something and you are found negligent to the apartment building, then you have that liability insurance to help cover that cost. And then your contents coverage, of course, is what you own that is in your apartment. If you don't have that, there is no coverage for your contents. Even if the apartment complex burned down, the apartment complex policy is not going to cover your personal contents. So it's on you to have that insurance. Homeowners insurance obviously is going to cover the structure of the property itself, your contents inside, and the liability that comes with you being a homeowner.
And Erika was talking about one of the things that she sees a deficiency in is in homeowners policies is the amount of liability. Do you see that in a lot of renters policies too?
Yeah, and it's the same as homeowners. It's relatively inexpensive to up that coverage to at least $300,000. And that's where I usually do my start line on any of my policies that I quote. It's in your best interest to have that higher liability. And for as inexpensive as it is, it's really worth it, in my opinion. $100,000 anymore does not go a long way, unfortunately, when you really look at claims. So having that extra $200,000 even for the inexpensive cost it's worth it.
Is that a tough sell?
No.
I don't need that.
$20.
Yeah, I mean, there are times that, yes, people are just in there to just get that insurance. They only want that minimum requirement. If I can try and get you up there, I will, because it really, again, like Erika said, $20 usually is that line of what you're increasing it on. And over 12 months, if you pay monthly, that's not a lot of money.
Right.
And it's better interest for you.
A lot of peace of mind for a few bucks.
Yes, exactly.
Missoula Real Estate Today, presented by Diane Beck of Windermere Real Estate. Our guest, Erika Close, Sales Executive, and Sam Lytle, Client Manager. Payne West Insurance. So, gals, I'll ask you if you can explain actual cash value coverage and also replacement cost value, and how that can affect premiums.
Actual cash value is old for old. Replacement cost is old for new.
Okay.
The premium difference is not usually substantial. If you have the opportunity, go with replacement cost either way on your personal property and your dwelling. Nobody wants to hear that your home is beautifully updated, but built in 1940s and your updates were 10 years ago, and now it's only worth $90,000, but it's going to be $350,000 to rebuild. There would need to be, for us to put a home with a policy that's actual cash value, it would need to be something like it needed a roof replaced, so we needed to put it there until the roof was redone. And we're talking bad curling shingles, known that it leaks. And as funny as that sounds, it happens. People call and my other company has canceled me. I need something interim until we can fix this, or I'm purchasing this home and I want to put a roof on it, but I can't get it done.
Aren't red flags waving now if somebody calls you and says my other company canceled me? What is your next line of questioning from there? Not to get off.
Why?
Topic.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
And what can we do to fix that? And is this something you intend to fix? And there's people that will say, no, I don't ever intend to put a new roof on this house.
Right.
And so that coverage might be the best they can possibly get. Okay.
So with replacement cost value, are you dealing with where do the numbers start? You used an example of a roof, and let's say a roof, just to deal in small round numbers. Okay, it's going to be $10,000, but it's obviously not something I'm going to need for at least a couple years. So do you say, okay, well, insure for $10,000, or do you have to kind of amortize or estimate what it's going to be in a few years from now?
We do a cost guide when we start insuring a home for the whole home, depending on the type of roofing. Okay. We make the assumption that it's in good condition for the cost guide. And then we can make adjustments from there. We can also start with an appraisal. If somebody recently had a home appraised, we can use that number. We'll still have to do a cost guide, but we can match it to what the appraisal says. And then we can go from there. But that's what Inflation Guard is something that is built into most homes, that it increases the value of your home every year or every 2 years. So if your home was insured for $100,000 this year, you might see on your renewal next year that your home's insured for $104,000. So insurance policies bump that up automatically.
And is that affected by, obviously in the Missoula real estate market, since we're on Diane Beck's Real Estate Show, they are seeing price spikes, big and rapid. So is it hard to keep up with that kind of an estimation?
Yes, and that's why homeowners should review their insurance every 3 to 5 years. And it was 10 years ago that it was the opposite, that your home might be insured for more than it would be to replace it. It's just a good idea to review that with a trusted partner and somebody that you're talking to about your insurance.
All right. Can you explain what umbrella insurance refers to and what an example of that would be?
Yes, definitely. And when Sam was talking about renter's insurance, I was thinking that an umbrella is excess liability. It's another layer of liability. It can be $1 million. It could be up to $50 million, depending on what assets you're protecting. I'm sure it could be higher than that. I just haven't seen that. But even a renter might need an umbrella. It's protecting your wealth, what you've amassed, and you need to protect. Say there was an auto accident or a fire that damaged somebody else's house, or a dog bite. So it's just usually a separate policy. Some companies have it as a endorsement on a policy, but it's usually a separate policy that covers your home and your auto and your boat and your ATV as an excess liability limit.
Does that affect your premiums a lot, or can it?
Usually there's a cost savings on your other policies if you have an umbrella policy, but an umbrella policy's about $200 a year. That's just a round guesstimate based off of, one home, 2 autos type thing.
Very good.
Yeah.
Listen to you being all sales executive and all.
That's it.
Excellent. Erika Close, sales executive with Payne West Insurance. Sam Lytle, client manager with Payne West, on Missoula Real Estate Today, presented by Diane Beck of Windermere Real Estate. I asked you about potential mistakes homeowners can make when trying to cut cost and being underinsured. Do you see customers making those kinds of mistakes with regards to, say, insuring vehicles?
Oh, yes. Again, liability is inexpensive and a good thing, and you should look at having and underinsured liability and medical payments too. A strange random thing is that your underinsured motorist coverage and your medical payments will cover you when you're a pedestrian with most companies and most policies.
What do you mean by pedestrian?
If you got hit by a car walking on the street.
A pedestrian. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Oh, I should mention, too, thank Diane's marketing partners that help bring us Missoula Real Estate Today every weekend here on News Talk KGVO. Rob Fleming with Man Mortgage, Miles Link of Opportunity Bank of Montana, and Carol Blodgett from MakeItMissoula.com. Erika Close and Sam Lytle with Payne West Insurance, our guests this week. And looks like we're going to start with you, Sam. I'm going to ask the same question to both of you. But what are some of the things you find most rewarding about what you do?
Helping our clients be protected is really a highlight of our job. There's no better feeling than them coming to you and saying, this is what I'm worried about. Taking the time to listen, ask those open-ended questions to make sure that they're getting a well-rounded portfolio built for them that is specific to them versus a cookie-cutter insurance policy. You won't get that with us. We take each client as they were our only client, and we look at everything, make sure that you're covered correctly, and for them to come back and be grateful that, we asked some of the questions that they wouldn't have even thought of asking or wouldn't have known that we could cover that. It's a great feeling having them be grateful and everything. So always dealing with the clients is always a good part of our job.
Well said. How about you there, Erika?
Agreed. It's wonderful to help somebody sleep better at night. As awful as it sounds, it's wonderful to be there when there's a claim, too. We deal with fires more often than most people, or floods in your home, or car accidents. Somebody that's there and says, this is what you can expect, or when you're calling and saying, should this be taking this long? Somebody said that's not unreasonable right now. These are the actions we should be taking. This is what you're looking for. To be that person and to help somebody know that it's going to be okay and we're going to get through this is a phenomenal feeling.
One thing when we were talking just before we went on the air about questions to things to talk about, I guess one thing that just now popped into my head that either or both of you can answer as far as your industry is concerned. Have you seen a lot of changes in the insurance business over the recent years? And if so, are they good changes or are they bad changes?
Both. I mean, Montana doesn't see as much as some states, but there's something called Lemonade where you can just go insure personal property, like my camera, while I'm taking it hiking. So I'm paying a tiny premium because I'm only covering this camera for these events and for these 3 days. And it's super inexpensive, but what happens when you forget to add your camera back on and you think that you have coverage? I think it's got pros and cons to it. It'd be great to cover it when you're going on a trip, but if it's something you use all the time, like a wedding ring or something, maybe you don't want it. Maybe you'd just rather have it scheduled on a property. What else?
So I'll let you think of another one there, but so did you just say, okay, I've got my cell phone, my phone camera, mm-hmm. and I know that I'm insured. That's insured under my homeowners or my renter's policy or whatever. And then I'm going to kind of insure kind of extra insurance for 3 days. But when that 3 days expires, then my camera is no longer on my policy at all.
Right. You can just purchase a small policy for that amount of time for personal property. And I can't remember if it's Trove or Lemonade, but one of them specializes in that.
Okay.
And like your phone would be personal property. But let's say you were going on a trip and you wanted to just schedule your camera while you took it on the trip. It wouldn't be subject to the deductible of your homeowner's insurance.
Okay.
You wouldn't have a claim on your homeowner's insurance, but you would have coverage for that camera on the trip.
Well, that all sounds a little bit tricky. Yeah,
can be.
How about you, Sam? Any changes that come to mind that you've had to adapt to or deal with?
Oh, just right now it's with remarketing with the fires and everything. It just gets a little hard right now because of all of the wildfires. We have to get more creative on where we're placing policies and finding the right coverage for people. So dealing with those situations are always tricky, but we always get it done or try our best to, and we'll tell you if we can't and where to go if we don't have an option.
All right. I always like to ask about success stories, and you're both welcome to answer this. Again, any recent transaction or customer service assistance that you found particularly rewarding?
Yes.
Erika, you going to start with that?
So as somebody came to me because they were purchasing a home that needed a new roof and having trouble getting coverage. And we were able to work with one of the companies that we have that gave them 90 days to put the new roof on their home. And it enabled the person to buy the house. They weren't going to be able to buy it because they were having trouble finding insurance companies. So it was nice to have so many companies to work with, knowing we helped somebody close on their first home.
Nice. How about you, Sam? Anything come to mind, a recent success story that made you pretty happy to be with Payne West?
Oh, I'm always happy to be with Payne West. It's a great company, so there's too many to count.
You both are so tactful. You really are.
I don't really have any right offhand. I mean, it's always a success if I get to help my clients out, and it's even an added perk if I get to save them some money and know that they are saving, putting that away for themselves and are happy. So there you go.
The judges will accept that answer. That's good. Missoula Real Estate Today, presented by Diane Beck of Windermere Real Estate. Our guests have been Erika Close, sales executive with Payne West Insurance, and Sam Lytle, client manager with Payne West. Okay, now you get your radio commercial time, absolutely free of charge here, no premium or nothing. Why should folks who are listening or just in general choose Payne West Insurance?
Because we're fantastic.
Well, I can tell that.
We have lots of different options. We care about our clients, and we're there to listen and help you problem solve and find insurance that helps fit your needs.
All right. And as far as contact information to get a hold of either of you specifically or the office locally, what's all the contact info we need?
You can reach me, Erika Close, at 406-327-6587. And
you can reach me, Samantha Lytle, at 406-532-5861. And then our main office number here in Missoula is 406-721-1000.
And how about website information if you want to get on there?
PayneWest.com. And we now have a chat feature on there.
Oh, actually, I did see that. Yeah, I didn't want to chat, but I was just kind of making sure I had the background and everything. I was checking up on you.
I always think I should try the chat and see if they answer my questions.
I know. Do you want me to? I can chat something when we're done. Just if you want to practice, I'll go ahead and send you something chatty.
They don't let me answer the chat.
Oh, they do. Oh, well, I'm not going to waste my time then. I'd want to chat with you.
You can request that, but they have a dedicated team that answers chat.
All right, fine. Our guests have been Erika Close, sales executive, and Sam Lytle, client manager with Payne West Insurance here in Missoula. They've done a wonderful job. Thanks, and I hope you come back soon.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Missoula Real Estate Today. We hope you found this morning's information to be helpful. If you have any suggested topics for any future Missoula Real Estate Today programs or any questions about buying or selling, contact Diane Beck with Windermere Real Estate. Email dianebeck@realtor.com or visit her website, homesinmissoula.com. We'll see you next time on Missoula Real Estate Today.
With over 25 years' experience in the local housing market, Diane Beck of Windermere Real Estate knows what it takes to sell your home. The Diane Beck team keeps up with the latest trends and marketing strategies to maximize the sale potential of your property, featuring a customized multimedia marketing plan. Buyers and sellers know they can count on Diane Beck of Windermere Real Estate, your Missoula real estate source. Visit move2missoula.com. That's move2missoula.com.